back to another episode of the MonkeyBoy Presents DC Comics Superhero Collection, and today we have issue number 12 for you, Two-Face. And this is a fantastic entry in the series. Eaglemoss delivers yet again on a fantastic figure. This is a must-have for Eaglemoss collection fans or Batman fans. I mean, if you're just getting it for any one particular character in his Rogues Gallery, Batman's the one to do it with for sure, at least at this point, because he gets the majority of the villains here, and they are very, very nice. Without further ado, we will cover, at first, the magazine, giving you everything you need to know about the character, covering all of it, and I mean all of it. And we also have a little bit more of the DC timeline in the back. And then next, we will cover the figure itself, giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And Two-Face is yet another very ugly villain. Oh man, here we go. The DC Comics Superhero Collection, issue number 12, Two-Face. First up, we have the character section, where we learn everything we need to know about Two-Face. The first couple pages cover his origins, basically. It talks about how he was a district attorney for Gotham City. He was one of the few who was not corrupt or crooked or on the take, and he forged a friendship and a close alliance with Commissioner Gordon and Batman before he became Two-Face. Together, Batman, Harvey, and Commissioner Gordon sought to bring down the Falcone crime family in Gotham City, and after a lot of time and trouble, they finally got one of their chief enforcers on the stand, and before anyone could realize it, though, he threw this vial of acid right at Harvey's face during cross-examination, and forever scarred Harvey both physically and psychologically. Harvey became one of the most deadly villains in all of Gotham City, and most powerful as well, and all of his crimes always revolved around duality or fate or something with the number 2. We also learn over the next couple pages how Harvey was believed to have maybe adopted a third personality calling itself the Hangman. This actually saw Harvey re-teaming with Batman and Commissioner Gordon even after having become Two-Face, and together they uncover the true villain behind all these murders. Next time we see Harvey, he is again leading a band of criminals in what is now no man's land. This was after an earthquake rocked Gotham City, leaving it basically lawless. The last couple of pages basically catch up with Harvey as far as where it was when this was first published. It talks about his involvement in the Hush storyline, where his face was surgically repaired by Dr. Tommy Elliott. After Batman's return, Harvey didn't know what to do with himself, and then found himself framed yet again for another set of murders, and this time it pushed him over the edge. He grabbed some acid and a scalpel and scarred himself all over again. He unleashed Two-Face on the world once more, and he's still wreaking havoc in Gotham City. Next up, we have classic Two-Face storylines to look at. First up is Batman Annual number 14. And this was Harvey's first definitive origin story. This was the first time they actually explored the character and his background, and it suggested that he always had this Two-Face character lurking within him. It was just the scar and the acid that pushed him over the edge. It's a character study in the character of Two-Face. It's really good. Next is Batman Faces. This is a very unique story of Two-Face. It finds him going on a killing spree and a robbing spree, using all the funds to purchase this private island. When Batman goes to investigate what in the world's going on here, it turns out he's got this island full of freak area. The problem is, all of these freak people that he has there, he's either kidnapped or forced to go there, and they don't really want any part of it. And finally, we have the award-winning Long Halloween. And this is quite possibly one of the greatest murder mystery Batman stories ever written. It finds Batman and Commissioner Gordon and Harvey Dent trying to track down this killer called the Holiday Killer, and they go from suspect to suspect. Even Batman and Commissioner Gordon get it wrong. It's great. I'm not going to spoil it for you. It's a must-read for any Batman fans. Next up, we have Two-Face's allies and enemies. Two-Face's iconography section features the gangs of Gotham, and this just goes into a few of the other gangs that are in Gotham City that are rivals of his. It talks about the Penguin and how his Iceberg nightclub lounge is really a front for his arms deals. We also get a glimpse at the Black Mask, as well as the various mob families in Gotham, most prominently the Falcones. And lastly, the original thinking section is part 3 of the DC timeline, this time featuring heroes and dinosaurs. We learn about the formation of the star Sapphires, and it also talks about how, at this point in the timeline, heroes started to time travel and pop up in prehistoric times, like the hero Kronos, and a nice picture there of Superman taking on a prehistoric dinosaur. And while the Earth was still in its primeval stages, we get to see Krypton in one of its golden ages. Here we have Two-Face, and what can you say about this figure? I mean, Lex Luthor was awesome, and so is this one. We are on a trend here. We had Ra's al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul, we had Lex Luthor, and now we have Harvey Dent Two-Face. And I mean, the detail on this one is absolutely astounding. Everything about him is great. I mean, you can turn him to this side. Look at that. In the profile, Harvey Dent, a district attorney, well-respected man. He even has the coin in his hand, which you can kind of see. You'll see better in the close-up shots here in a second. Other side, do the other profile, and there we just have mean old Two-Face. I mean, look at that. The scarring on the face, the muscle tissue, even his eye is bloodshot and red. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Totally split down the middle. His hair is incredible, too. They actually blend the gray out of the other part of the hair. I mean, it blends right into the burned, scarred part. It's great. All the way down to his shoes. I mean, everything about him is split right down the middle, as it should be. It's beautiful. Absolutely stunning figure. Another must-have in the collection, for sure. Better pictures here in just a second. Harvey stands atop the DC logo, like the other figures in the series, and his name is in multiple languages, along with his serial number on the underside of the base. And for the fun of it, we have a quick picture of Harvey alongside the Dark Knight. Two-Face is another stellar entry in this series. He honestly is. If you are a fan of the Batman franchise, this is a must-have figurine for your collection, especially if you like the Eaglemoss figures. I had never seen a bad one, honestly. I mean, how could you make it bad? He's so ugly to start with, you really can't say anything is screwed up on him. But just the attention to detail, the fact that his suit is split down the middle, I love the black and white elements to it. The pinstriping on the one side of the suit is a very stark contrast to the solid gray of the other one. The coin in his hand is wonderful. Love that little detail. and his other hand is pocketed, which is fine. I mean, it would have just been a plain old hand anyway. It's just his face that's scarred, so it's cool. He's got that sort of gangster look to him that way. The detailing on this figure, especially his face. I mean, my goodness, everything about him. The fact that his mouth won't close on that side, his teeth are all gnarled and nasty, his eye is red and bloodshot. You can see muscle tissue, you can see bone. His hair is burned and gray, and the other side, the Harvey Dent side, is perfect. I mean, he looks like Harvey Dent. You can literally put this figure in profile, and he looks like two different figures. It's great. The bad, a little bit of bleeding here and there with the paint, but nothing awful. You know, you can chalk it up to the fact that his suit is tailor-made. You know, there are going to be mistakes. And the face is really excellent. Again, if you're a picky collector, though, like me, you do want to look at it before you purchase. The ugly, I've never heard of anything ugly on the figure. No breaks or anything like that. He's a pretty solid figure. No accessories to worry about. So he's nice. He's really, really nice. He's a great figure in the line. I really recommend him. Seriously, the price, you know, around $10 to $13 depending on where you shop. Totally worth every penny for this figure. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really had a blast bringing this one to you. Hope you enjoyed watching it. Stay tuned for a quick teaser trailer for the next one in the series. I'm a little bit shaken up here because he's a spooky one. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.